How's everybody doing, and welcome to the fish room. So I haven't done a video in the last few days, almost a week or so. So I wanted to just do a little fish room update. It's Sunday night, it's around 11 o'clock. Catching some fish, shipping them out tomorrow. As you know, I ship out on Mondays. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and a couple of the updates. Quick look at the fish room here, guys. So if you're not familiar with my channel, here's my 20 gallons, 10s, 40s. I got buckets, shipping supplies out there. Running out of space on eggs that are being laid, then you tumble and hatch. So a little quick tour of the fish room. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead, check it out below, subscribe, like the video, let me know what you guys think about the videos, what you want to see next. But as for this video, I have some buckets here, because whenever you're shipping fish, I fast them for about 2 days. So a little informative. I'll tell you a couple ways how I ship fish in this video, but I'll fast them over the weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, I'm not really feeding the fish. Friday, I'm usually feeding a little bit less. But if I have a big order or I have a lot of fish that are hard to catch, I'll do it Sunday night before I ship them out. One, because like here I have some germ blue rams. They're more colored up during the day or at night when the lights are still on, versus early in the morning you kick the lights on and you're trying to separate males and females. It's a lot more difficult to do. So quick look at everything we have here. Here we have some of the super red bristlenose pleco babies, and all these things are on my website, biancosfish.com. But I think I've got 8 of them in here. So those are the super reds. In here are some younger adult germ blue rams, and there's 8 in there. Someone's getting a 6-pack of them. I always try to send extras. This is the tank they came from. So you can see they're definitely smaller than the ones I like to sell, but I told them that going ahead. And they're really healthy, they're super responsive, and I was just in there catching fish and they're still ready for food. But they're ready to start laying eggs. I actually saw them spawn last week on that sponge filter. I'm not sure which pair in there. But germ blue rams breed super young. Around 3 months they'll start breeding before their colors even fully develop. So I went ahead, caught 8 of those. Hopefully 3 males, 5 females. A little hard to tell on some of the females, but they should have, even when they kind of wash out, the males on their black spot on their side of a focus, they should have no blue dots inside of it. So a larger black dot, they won't have any like speckling of blue. The females will. So that's another way you can tell. Besides the body shape, their head, their belly, all of that stuff you can kind of look at, and just kind of watching their behavior. Males chasing each other back and forth, kind of following a female. All those good things are ways you can kind of sex males and females. And then down in this tank, they got, I believe, a dozen of the long fin common plecos. A couple of them are a little smaller than I'd like, so I think I put 13 in there. But I'll put them in here. This kind of helps them too. Set it on the bucket, they're ready to go. They'll go to the bathroom more in here. Once you first catch a fish, they're gonna go to the bathroom whether they've been fasted or not. So they're gonna poop a little bit more. So as you can see, they're already going to the bathroom in this bucket. They'll kind of poop overnight. I'll catch them out of here, put them in fresh shipping water, which when I do that, it's just the chlorinated water at temperature. I don't use tank water. So those guys will be bagged up in a few smaller bags, or just a variety of bags, not all in one. And then the last thing I have here, I think I have 6 of the lemon blue-eye plecos. So kind of excited to ship these guys out. I'll show you a little bit of my process while you guys have you, but while I have you guys, sorry, it's getting late. I'm tired. I'm getting this order out. It's kind of a little nerve-wracking whenever you have multiple orders going out, because you want to make sure you have the right shipping address. If they want to get picked up at the post office, you have to include their number. I got to make sure I'm sending the right fish to the right person, which I double-check all that stuff, so we're always good to go. I've never had any problems, but definitely always super careful about those things, and you're shipping live fish, so there's always that risk involved there also. But let's check out some of the shipping materials I have and give a couple updates and wrap this video up. Just wanted to share what's going on in the fish room, what I'm up to. I know it's been a few days since I did a video. I have some plans that I want to do stuff, but just been really busy, and been a good month in the fish room. So let's go outside the fish room, check out how I'm shipping everything, and we'll wrap this up, guys. For shipping fish, I've always used USPS because they have the priority mailboxes. So this is a small box and a medium box. I think they call this a large. It's like 12 inch by 12 inch. And this is like 11 by 8.5, something like that. Before I actually make the box, it's important that not that important, but it's definitely a lot easier to label them first while they're laying flat. So I'll write live fish this side up, or just up with arrows on both sides. And then for the larger boxes, similar thing. I'll do on both sides, live fish, side up. I just kind of having a procedure, doing the same thing every time, just kind of making it a habit so you don't forget stuff. Whenever I ship, this is free too. You order these online, they mail them for free, and you get the boxes for free. And then I'll use these priority mail stickers you pick up at the post office. You'll write from your name, your address. I usually do a little star there with live fish, the customer's name, their address. And then underneath here, I'll usually write their phone number in the corner if they ever want to call them if there's any problems with the package and needs picked up. Or if they want it picked up, I'll write hold and call with their phone number, and I'll usually highlight that with a highlighter. It kind of just stands out, helps them really notice it. They don't always listen. Usually in New York, if I ship to New York, they always ignore it, but that's more apartment, so it's not like they're sitting outside. It's a different setup, and usually the customer knows that anyways, but I'll send them the tracking number. I usually get everyone's email, definitely, if not their phone number. I prefer to have your phone number so I can just text you, keeping up to date when the fish are out, tracking numbers, when they come in. They can send me pictures, any of that good stuff. And then whenever I do that, I'll usually make a sticky note for myself of the customer, the fish they want, small or medium box, if they want to hold it, any details needed to know. I'll actually normally put their state in the zip code, because that helps me. Once I ship these fish out, I have my receipt. I can go back, check out my little sticky note of their name, their zip code. I can look up their tracking number and text it to them a lot easier than having to go through an old email and kind of finding that stuff. And also, some people are hitting me up with those sticker codes, so I'm sending out some stickers. I'll probably do this regardless until I run out of them. Little Bianco Skull fish. You know me as Pittsburgh Pets, but that's also my aquarium service name, so they kind of blend together. They're the same thing, but that's kind of my boxing setup. I'll also use always the 72-hour heat pack. So the little uni heat I buy is off Amazon. And then as for packing material, I've just recently started to use this green fiber recycled insulation. So it's all natural. It doesn't itch your hands or anything, but it's just insulation. I'll put that at the bottom, put the bags in, surround them, usually wrap them in newspaper. But a lot more cost effective, and you can fit more bags into a box by using this material here. Kind of found that from Michael's Fish Room, his YouTube channel, or michaelfishroom.com. So that was kind of helpful. I used to do the styrofoam boxes where you line them up. I eventually ran out of those, and it's just a lot more cost effective to use this. And like I said, you can fit more things into a box, and if anything leaks, you don't have to worry about that because it will soak it up too. But I stopped using the breather bags. I'm just using shipping bags, and I'll double or triple bag those now, so that's not a problem. As for my bags, these are kind of just random sizes. I got a box right here. I think I got like 500 bags for like $50 from kensfish.com. So far, it's the best place I've found to buy bags for shipping fish and just for local sales. When I'm selling a lot of fish, I can go a big bag instead of bringing a bucket of fish. I can bag them up in a 12-inch or an 8-inch. And then I've even just started using the 3-inch bag. And these are, I think, 18 or 20 inches high, 2 millimeter to 3 millimeter thick. I think these are the 3 mil. I personally actually like the thinner bags. They're easier to rubber band tie off, or if you need to knot your bag, it's a lot easier. But for shipping fish, I use 6-inch by 18-inch, or I've used the 3 inches recently. There was a 4-inch option. I think I should have used that because 3 is really tiny, but it's super easy to make it a really long bag, tie it off, and then double or triple bag it. So I'd probably, if you're starting off, get the 4-inch bags and the 6-inch bags wide, 18 to 20 inch high, and the 2 millimeter thick. Kind of just real briefly how I ship fish. Figured I'd show that while I have you guys. Kind of a random update. Like I said, I haven't done a video in a few days. You see I tossed the hat on. It's getting late. My hair's getting a little crazy, but let's walk around, take a look at a few tanks, and we'll wrap this up. But thank you all for watching. As always, go below, subscribe to the channel, check out some of my old videos. But let's take a look at some of the angelfish growing out, a few other updates, and what else is going on. So over here in the 55-gallon tank, I sold all those angelfish, and now I have the next generation here growing out. Doing pretty well. I'm glad that I have a little bit of variety. There's some like solid platinums and just silvers, and then we have a lot of those marbles with just their pattern. But I really like the marbles. I think they look nice when they grow up. Some of these have a little bit of like almost Paraiba in them, but we'll see how they kind of develop. And also, I'm going to do a video on this probably in the next day or two. This aquaponics with the mint is really taking off. It's doing great. I know some people aren't as interested in like the aquaponics videos, but I think it's really cool when I tie it in with just new stuff from the fish room. I'm also just growing some moss here because you can never have enough moss, and there's a bunch of snails in there. So I think once it starts growing, I can actually go through and clean this stuff up and then get all the snails out of there, and then maybe I can start selling that online. But the aquaponics with this tank's doing really well, and it's just pumping water up through an air stone, splashing over, and then we have an overflow right in the middle. It just brings water back down to the tank. So that's kind of cool. I'm enjoying this tank a lot. The angelfish are growing super well in a much larger tank. They're still pretty crammed in there. You can imagine how much worse it was in a 10 or 20 gallon tank. Over here in the other 55 gallon tank, I sold almost all the rams. I got a few males in there left. I'll probably sell those off or just give them to someone locally so I can move that next group of them in here. And I think I kept 8 or 10 of the angelfish babies, if it'll focus in. Some of these guys have a little bit of red in them. I just thought they were a little bit nicer, so I kind of hand-picked maybe 8 or 10 of them to hold back. I think I'm going to grow them out for a customer. I'm actually setting up a 150 gallon tank for a restaurant that's newly opening. If you're local to the Pittsburgh area, stay tuned. I'll show that tank in probably a new video whenever it's all set up and running, and I'll let you know where that restaurant is so you can go ahead and check that out. Not positive on the name yet. They're still building, doing construction, but some of these angelfish I'm growing out might go in that new 150 gallon tank. So look forward to that video. Should be pretty cool, and I'm doing really basic filtration in it, so we'll see how that works. I know I'm going to get some good feedback and some terrible feedback from people that are all about their overflows and hang on, like certain filters. I don't even want to get into it, but I'm going to do a video on the 150 gallon tank, and it's going to be super simple setup. I think it's going to look really nice, and it's going to be pretty cost effective for them. So look forward to that. I'm excited about it. As for my Pleco sale tank, I just sold 175 Plecos this week to local pet stores. So you can see how packed this tank still is, and I sold almost 200 Plecos out of it. So pretty cool to still see that I have a ton of babies in here, and these are a little bit smaller than I like to sell. The ones I was selling were a good ½ inch bigger, a lot fatter. So those guys are still big enough where I could ship them, I could sell them locally. They're going to do well for a customer. But if I have the option, pet stores and anybody really just likes to have that 1 inch to 2 inch Pleco. If you have the space and the time to grow them out, you'll have a lot happier customers who really enjoy getting that larger bristlenose Pleco where you're not like looking at a tank trying to find it, even though they always kind of hide. And down here, this is where I caught those long fin Plecos out of. Still really enjoying this tank. Excited to start selling some of the long fin albinos and hopefully getting a breeding pair of those in the future that I can breed some more things. I've been crossbreeding a lot, but now that I'm getting the colors that I want, I can grow up some babies and really start line breeding some things. So I don't have to go through and hand pick random fish like this long fin calico. Kind of like a super red, not real dark calico. That's more of like your calico there, that larger guy there, standard fin. Red marble, calico, whatever you want to call it. But these guys I just kind of randomly got out of crossbreeding. Hope to grow them up, line breed some of this stuff. So instead of having a tank of 4 different strains, which is awesome, I get a lot of different things out of one pair or one group. I'd much rather in the future start line breeding these things, getting nicer color, and then when it comes time to sell fish, I can catch them all out. They're relatively all the same fish, so it's a lot easier to select them and sell them whenever you're line breeding things, and you just improve them over time. Last thing I'll show for the day is these are some bristlenose Pleco. Babies are just starting to hatch out, so you can see some are still eggs, some are kind of fungused up or just leftover eggshells. You see these little guys hanging on the side. Those are baby bristlenose Plecos, and I'll actually post a picture here. Actually, I did a video on these guys and I mentioned to throw them in there. I actually totally forgot about it, so let me throw that clip in right now. Alright guys, this is crazy. I'm filling my tanks up right now, and I just finished draining, and the last tank I was draining was over here, so going out to pull out the pump, and check it out right here. I have a male bristlenose pleco guarding some eggs, and that's a flower pot turned upside right, no cover at all, and there's hundreds of eggs in there. So I don't even know. I don't want to do a video strictly for this. I think I'm gonna throw it in during my other fish room stuff going on. I'll probably just tell you I'm gonna throw a clip in there. But check it out. I mean, this is how the setup was. I didn't pull a top off. There's nothing there. This is a 55-gallon tank. I got maybe half a dozen to a dozen adult bristlenose plecos in here, just kind of hanging out. And I got some male guppies. But that pleco bred right in the bottom of an open flower pot. And there are a lot of eggs in there. So, I mean, I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to hatch them. He's trying to fan them. I'm sure he would fan them until they come on out. But bristlenose plecos are super easy to breed as long as you keep their water clean. They're not stressed out and they get lots of food. I feed this tank every day, and I'm not trying to breed them, but even whenever I pull the flower pots out and I have no hiding places for these guys, they'll still breed. So keep an eye on your plecos, feed them well. If you want to breed them, check out my website at biancosfish.com. My bristlenose plecos are breeding really prolifically. I'm sure everybody's do, but I take care of mine in a way where they get clean water. They're not super picky. I give them algae wafers every day, so they're eating food that you can easily buy. They get water changes once a week, maybe every other week, so it's not daily, nothing too crazy, but big water changes, consistent food, and these guys will breed for you. So thought I'd share that with you, and let's go back to the video. There you have it. I'm filming all this today, so I kind of almost forget what I filmed the other day on that, but all those eggs were sitting at the bottom, and now they're starting to kind of all hatch out of the eggs. I'm going to move these into a tank or like a breeder net, let the rest of them kind of hatch out and let them absorb those egg sacs before I dump them in the tank. But I wanted to share this little update on those guys. Did hatch out. I actually totally forgot about that video I took last week on the eggs being laid, but that's kind of exciting. But thank you all for watching. I just want to do a fish room update today. It started with these 4 buckets of fish that I'm shipping out tomorrow. I wanted to show you guys some cool stuff, but as always, getting sidetracked in the fish room, taking a look at different things, just sharing what I'm up to with you guys. Thank you all for watching. Go below, subscribe, like the video, comment, let me know what you think, and check out those videos on the screen to watch some more stuff, and check out my fish playlist. Thanks again, and don't forget to check out my website at biancosfish.com.